Lil Miss AIPAC, Nikki Haley, ends her reign of terror at the UN. The world is not shedding any tears now that Lil Miss AIPAC, Nikki Haley, has finished her time puffing up her political resume at the UN. To describe her performance as UN ambassador over the last 2 years as strident and obnoxious would be a kindness. Haley, simply put, was out of her depth as a diplomat, preferring to pre-run for president and shore up the support of the Israeli lobby in the U.S., rather than do her job with any modicum of honesty or integrity. Her resigning quickly after the confirmation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh to the Supreme Court is interesting, however. While she has been nominally one of President Trump's most public supporters, she has also been instrumental in undermining Trump on foreign policy initiatives that do not comport with the wishes of her paymasters at AIPAC. And while it is questionable how far Trump bows to the powerful Israeli lobby, no such question should arise with Haley. She literally invites my nickname for her with every public pronouncement. So, what are the implications of this move by Haley less than 30 days before the midterm elections? Well, the first part of this is obvious. The neoconservative, never-Trump wing of the GOP, still smarting that their plan to hurt Trump by helping the Democrats scuttle the Kavanaugh appointment, are continuing to push the narrative that Trump has no control in the White House. So Haley, one of the best allies in his administration, resigned suddenly to continue that appearance. It doesn't matter that she apparently wanted out before year-end. She could have held off until after the midterms to assist Trump in getting the GOP over the finish line with the House and Senate intact. And she didn't do that. And if that doesn't clarify for you just who she truly works for, then sadly nothing will. Honestly, she has been such a caricature of a neocon during her time miscast as a diplomat, anyone would be better than her short of Paul Wolfowitz or Dick Cheney, since John Bolton already got a promotion as National Security Advisor. As a blogger and political analyst, I'm a little sad to see Haley's gone. She was the geopolitical gift that kept on giving every time she said something monumentally vile, as she transparently worked to undermine anyone not fully on board with the protocols of the elders of AIPAC. But it's not like Nimrata will be leaving the public spotlight anytime soon. She craves it too much. The UN ambassadorship was always simply her bully pulpit to plot her course to the presidency. And it's sad that she wasn't gone 20 minutes before that speculation began hitting the Twitterati of the right. The only thing more ignorant than that is the leftists who see the invisible hand of Vladimir Putin behind every move of the Trump administration, thinking Haley was somehow Trump and Putin's enemy at that level. The likely story here is that, as I said, Haley was done burnishing her political throne at the UN and is looking for the next step in her designs on the White House. I'm having a hard time believing that she resigned due to the recent report of her accepting luxury flights as gifts. That's something, with her connections and positioning, she could weather. Seriously, does anyone think a few free flights would be enough to take down one of the biggest war hawks in D.C.? If you do, then you probably still think Elon Musk is a genius. So that leaves us with a few possibilities off the top of my head. 1. Trump will fire Jeff Sessions after the midterms as is expected, and then Lindsey Graham will be promoted to Attorney General, though I don't think is bloody likely. This would then pave the way for Nimrata to replace him in the Senate and set her up as the AIPAC candidate of choice for 2020 or 2024, depending on whether a Trump removal is successful. Or 2, she was the one who wrote the infamous New York Times op-ed, or at least was the one who released it to the Times, and Trump fired her from the administration over it because this resignation blindsided everyone. Or 3, she has been instrumental in facilitating MI6 operations to undermine Trump's plans to forge better relations with Russia and has been coordinating them through the UN. Now, this is pure speculation on my part. I literally am just spitballing here. But if either 2 or 3 are correct, then Trump feels confident in his position and DC has improved to the point where he can start removing the neocon influence from his administration. The shoot-down of the IL-20 fiasco that has French, British, and Israeli fingerprints all over it and nearly got us involved in a war with Russia, something both Trump and Defense Secretary James Mattis do not want. So something about this doesn't feel quite right. And it's either the beginning of the end of the neoconservative reign or Trump, or it's them tightening the noose around his neck. The next few weeks will tell the tale. Now, either way, with Hurricane Michael bearing down on Waffle House country, Nimrata's waitressing skills could be put to productive use for the first time in 2 years. And that, my friend, is working for the people, Nikki.